I'm starting.
We have started.
We're doing the thing.
We are doing the thing. What's up, everybody?
Well, I'm doing the thing. I don't know what you're doing.
Jason, what are you doing today?
I'm doing the thing. I just said so.
Show the world
like
what
I
you're
literally
doing.
just said that I'm doing the thing.
Oh. Jason is priming up some Iron Warriors. Him and Philip had a hobby extravaganza this weekend. And you did a really cool Iron Warriors workup, didn't you?
I did.
Lumberjack,
Nice lead in.
Paint Liquor, T-Schmid, Danger, Blood Walrus.
I did do an Iron Warrior. I came in on Saturday,
Right.
and I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
I knew I had a couple of things I had to do with Blood Angels, fix some bits, glue some stuff on, and then I was gonna think about finishing another squad of guys on the build side. I say that. I have some conversion bits that I got to put on them and things like that. So, there were a couple of things where I was like, I could do that today, or I could do this other thing today. And what I wound up doing is I have a whole bunch of other Heresy models hanging out.
You do have quite a bit.
And so I was like, what I should do is get all of those organized over on the side. And so I did. So I took them all out of the boxes, of course, and went through and got them on trays so I could see the armies and start thinking in terms of what I want to do with those. Okay. I have a Solar Auxilia army.
You got a lot.
And this whole army of Marines, Mark II and Mark III Marines.
Yeah.
That are just the standard GW dudes.
Right.
And I had thought about what I wanted to do with them, and they have a Warsmith, a Forge World, honest-to-God Forge World Warsmith model that's a really cool model.
It is cool.
It's one of the only Forge World leader models that I enjoyed, but I was never a big Iron Warriors fan.
Right.
And I was like, then I started thinking, I was like, well, you know what, though? I could come up with something really easy to make Iron Warriors look good.
I do like your Iron Warrior scheme.
And, so I was like, well, you know what? If I'm going to... I got all these guys sitting here.
Yep.
So Philip was up here with me, new guy Phil. And we were just sitting around shooting the shoot, having a good time. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go paint this guy.
And you did.
And I did. So I finished a model, chat.
You finished a model? I don't believe it.
I finished an entire model. So I'm going to prime all these guys and then I'll show you. Because we're going to finish the squad now.
Okay.
So my goal was to say, how could I come up with... So, we've been talking a lot in the Painting Army series that we're doing here with these Blood Angels. We've been talking a lot about, the idea of when you're done, what quality do you want to get done to, how to set the goal before you get started. Not necessarily the goal of all your colors, but just the goal of what you expect it to look like, what quality you're going to do, how much time am I planning to spend on these guys, that kind of stuff. And so with the Iron Warriors, it's a total deviation from what we've been talking about with the Blood Angels, because the Blood Angels are, get it done quick. Or no, take the time, right? Sorry, I'm mixing the two up. The Blood Angels are take the time, make it nice. It's going to look good in the case. It's less about playing with them. It's more about, I want this army to be rad. And then I was like, so with the Iron Warriors, because I think I could come up with a very simple scheme to paint them, I think with the Iron Warriors, it should all be about get it done quick.
Yeah.
Right? This would be the opposite. This would be like, how do I get quality in speed? Right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think that necessarily speed paints. They're a little bit of a misnomer, right? They get things done fast, but do they bring quality?
Yeah.
In order to get quality out of speed paints, you have to spend more time. They stop being speedy. They're still fast, but they don't do everything their name is cracked up to be. So I'm like, okay, well, how do I get quality and fast in a model?
Right.
And take some of those shortcuts that we've been talking about with the Blood Angels, because a lot of people have been asking, like, how do you know, how do you speed it up if you want to do it nice? Well, you find out where and what shortcuts make sense.
Yeah.
And so on these guys, I did that. I came up with a scheme where I sat down and I said, okay, well, I think if I do this, I can speed this painting up and still keep a really good quality that I personally would be proud to put on the table and have an army that I said, yeah, sure, let's go. Let's play this game on Sunday. And I'm going to bring my Iron Warriors. and not feel like I committed some sin, you know, by bringing an army that was just kind of, you know, dry brushed real quick and thrown on the table with, you know, 3-color battle ready standard kind of stuff. I still want to have it look good, but is there a way to do that with minimal colors, no mixing, you know, very limited technical stuff? And obviously I'll need an airbrush because I'll show you that we're using an airbrush, but you could do everything that I will show you today with a brush.
There you go. The more you know. Hey, Source, thank you so much for that Prime sub, and happy partner anniversary. Thank you, guys.
Partner anniversary?
Everybody's saying happy partner anniversary.
Is it?
Is it?
I don't think about that stuff. We've been on Twitch forever, and we held off becoming partners. I kept arguing with Twitch. I was like, I don't want to be a partner. You take all the money. You don't do any of the work. You don't bring any viewers to us. Why would I be a partner and give you all the money? That was back in the day when we were monetizing Twitch.
Oh, way back.
And I took it very personally that they wanted, you know, back then, like 70% of your earnings, or I think it was 50%. It's always been.
Sure.
But I was like, I don't see how there's a benefit for my audience to do that. So we just kept doing giveaways. We kept doing donations and giveaways.
Yeah.
It worked great.
Hey, there you go.
And then they finally said they came up with Twitch Creative and decided that in Twitch Creative they were going to have this program for artists, and they were going to treat it differently than the video gaming side, because, you know, we really don't conform to what Twitch used to believe was the most important side, which was gaming and streams where a lot of people showed up during the course of the stream, but nobody stayed very long.
Oh, okay.
Because they need that commercial monetization, so they really foster their whole business by running as many people through as many channels as possible. So you see as many ads as possible, that kind of stuff. I get it. It's business. But it didn't work for us because we have fewer people who stay for a long time. Yeah. Right? People that come on the stream tend to watch an average of like 30, 40 minutes. That's not what they want. So anyway, yeah, thank you. We never think about it.
Yeah. Source says, mind showing off the brush-on primer again and talk about what makes it different?
I'm not going to show it today. Because I'm airbrush priming and I want to get going on what I have planned to do these Iron Warriors, and I can't take time out of what I'm doing because it's going to be going blisteringly fast to get the point across.
Yeah.
But what makes them different is not much, other than it has a higher viscosity so that you can brush it on and get more opacity in one coat. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because the standard, this primer can be brushed on too. And we always told people to do so if they needed to travel with it. But what my goal with the brush-on primer was to give you one that was actually built to be used off a brush. It's a little bit thicker so that it goes on a little bit better, as you'd assume off a brush should. And yeah, but as far as like color and adhesion and all that, same thing. People love it. It gives you. I can't believe I just primed 9 dudes, and
that was fast.
In one quick take, and I still have paint left.
Huh.
So there you go. Super quick prime. Yeah, it's the same. It's just a little bit thicker, a little bit more opaque, built to go on a brush instead of airbrush. Easy peasy.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Welcome, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend.
And Tadpole Jackson and Law Dog. Law Dog with 37 months.
No way.
And Tadpole Jackson with 11. Thank you, guys.
No way.
We appreciate that.
37 months.
Are these going to be 30K Iron Warriors,
yeah.
Asmo?
30K loyalists.
30K loyalists.
Loyalists. I don't do heretics. So
you don't do heretics.
You can run any of the heretic legions as loyalists. It would be hard to pull off word bearers. I was going to do word bearers a long time ago, and then I decided not to. It's really weird for me. I don't like doing the bad guys.
You don't like doing the bad guys.
Like when they're so horrible, like in the Horus Heresy, I just have a real hard time with it. People laugh at that because I do, like for World War II, I have armies for allies and Axis and the whole nine. And you would think for narrative play. But the thing it does allow me to do with the Iron Warriors is have a narrative play army that if I had to, I could run them as heretics.
Right.
Because a lot of times they want as many generals on both sides. And so it lets me do that. So it's like my French army. My French army in World War II for bolt action was the same way. I could play them as Vichy French, which were after the Germans took over France, and I could have them be part of the Axis and play them as bad guys, or I could have them be allies.
Agrippa says, I do love Pro Acryl Primer through my airbrush. I was
so good.
trying to burn through
good.
the other manufacturer stock I had, but I gave up. I rather use what's good, so PA through the airbrush from now on.
It always feels
It's
bad,
sleek.
right? I hate that we make a paint line that makes you want to throw everything else away. But I'm also not mad about it.
Oh, John says, funny enough, I'm trying to convince my friend to get back into 30K with Loyalists, Iron Warriors.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, the stream is for you, John. This
Boom.
stream is for you. Oh, okay. So, Jason, give us like a elevator pitch of what you did.
This is what we're going to do today. So I'm not going to give you the elevator pitch. I'm just going to do it.
Oh.
That's why we're doing it, Chris.
I take it all back. That was a test and you passed.
This took me an hour, a little over an hour.
Oh, look at you with that little
I
hazard
refuse
stripe.
to do I refuse to do hazard stripes, so I figured I will do some black and yellow markings on them at least.
Isn't that like some scuba diving?
No, that would
warning?
be diver down and it's red and white. But
it's
it's
red or white. Okay, you're right.
But the
that's funny.
Do you not listen to Van Halen?
No, I don't. But I do like that over the hazard stripes, but it still gives that vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Huh. And just a really quick, easy thing. I still will put paint on the base. Unfortunately, on Saturday when Phil and I were here, I got the basing material on at the end and it was still wet, so I couldn't paint it.
Yeah.
But I will do that. But I really like with the Martian Earth and the silver armor, I think will wind up looking really good. And this is super, super simple.
I mean, the gun looks fantastic too, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Whatever you did with this looks awesome.
It's one coat of paint. It's amazing.
It's one coat?
You're gonna it's so easy. Everything I'm gonna do is super simple. Like literally not even a matter of who can do it and who can't. You know,
Okay.
A lot of people out there are like, look, you can paint these models in 10 minutes. And it's like, yeah, right. You know, that's not gonna happen, dude. You know, nobody's going to paint in 10 minutes what, you know, these amazing Slayer Sword winning artists paint in 10 minutes because there's a world different level of knowledge going on there. Right?
Well, if you haven't pitched it enough already, I'm excited to see this work.
Well, it's using one of your favorite ways to paint.
Oh.
So you're going to love it, except I have a twist.
Oh, you have a twist.
I have a twist. I do twist things now.
Okay.
I can't just go immediately because the first thing is dry brushing, so I gotta kind of let this cure a little bit.
Oh, so it's all about like that underpainting, dry brushing kind of stuff.
100%, yeah, 100%. We're gonna stipple paint. It's not really dry brushing on the first pass, so I can probably start. I just have to be easy. So forgive me if along the way some of the paint, you know, gives me some problems because I am doing this fast for you guys, whereas normally I would have primed it beforehand.
Okay.
Right. Because I also, when I did my Iron Warrior over the weekend, I also reprimed all of my, what were Sanguinary Guard guys.
Oh, okay.
And I primed all my heroes for my Blood Angel 4. So I did a little bit of Blood Angel work.
Nice.
Over the weekend too. So that gave this paint a little bit extra time to set up, which I'm not getting right now. So
okay.
Bear with me. First color, burnt orange.
Got it.
Burnt orange, folks. Burnt orange, and you probably want like a DD2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dome dry brush, medium size. Medium. Put that on there so I don't paint my fingers as much as I did on Saturday.
Burnt orange. Burnt borange. Thank you, Agrippa.
I'm going to get a paper towel over here, and we're just going to go to town. Just going to put paint on the brush. Have a little off, and then we're literally just going to smudge the armor.
Smudge it on there.
Yeah, super easy. More paint. You don't care too much about the black being visible anymore. It will give you a good texture if you can leave it somewhat visible, but it doesn't have to be. This is going to get covered up.
Any rhyme or reason, or are you just going for it?
I'm just going for it. I wanted really high vibrancy. So for me, it was the ability to put it on like this was simple. I don't have to clean up the airbrush. There's an argument to be made that you could do this same thing, you know, with the airbrush. Yeah. But this gives kind of a good irregular application of paint that I think if it does show through is kind of neat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I picked this one.
Can you center it up a little?
Nope, I can't.
Ooh.
Not going to.
I appreciate you.
Not doing it.
He'll do it.
I refuse.
He'll dance.
I will not dance. I refuse.
I love doing this. And by this, I mean the exact thing that Jason's doing.
He does it a lot.
Which is funny enough, I was going to potentially show this, and this might be a great segue, and the bigger version of that this week.
We're just going to repeat this. This is real assembly line painting. We have no care in the world. We're just banging paint on there.
He's just banging paint.
Just banging paint. The orange will be my, what I would call, I guess, my shadow color. We're not applying it like a shadow, but if you think about it like that, I'm just putting it really focused on the legs more than anything.
Butter Eyes says, interesting. Orange under silver. You have my attention.
Well, just you wait, my friend.
It gets even better.
Just you wait. Yeah, we do this a lot in a little bit of a more, in a different way that gives a totally different feel than what you'll see me do here. I wanted to try something where we use this same kind of rapid underpainting, with the stippling and the banging around. I'm being a little gentle so I don't knock the primer off because it's still fresh.
Sure.
But the end game is very similar to the way we would normally do this.
Yeah.
And that it gives us a neat rusty undertone, as you can see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uses a lot of paint.
It's fun.
Painting this way uses a lot of paint.
Now, yeah, I've gone through a lot of burnt orange in my time because of this.
Yeah, burnt sienna, burnt orange. These are all colors that we use a lot when we do this. So, yeah, bingo. Boom. There you go. Number 2.
Agrippa says, oh, and this weekend I had my best non-metallic metal session yet for steel using warm gray as my mid-tone. Just had coal black, warm gray, and titanium white on the palette, and I really liked how it turned out. Nice.
Nice. Very cool. Love to hear it.
Medivh says, what PSI do you recommend?
When airbrushing, I only use 22. Everything we do is at 22.
And he does not thin any of our airbrush primers, Medivh.
Don't thin the primer, no. Yep. The primers are not to be thinned. They are built specifically to need no thinning. If you have a problem spraying them, clean your airbrush. I say that in all honesty. They are meant to go through a 0.3 needle. You can even we have some people that run them through a 0.2. But yeah, if you're having problems, don't thin them. Worry about cleaning your brush a little bit better. And you should be fine.
Lumberjack says, slow fuse.
Sir.
I saw Suicidal Tendencies this weekend with Slayer, and Mike Murr was running around the stage like he was in his 20s. That man is 62. I was blown away, and I hope they have that energy in 20 years.
That's cool. I have less energy for old bands. I like that they still tour and all that. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't know why.
It doesn't do it for you?
I like to go see new music.
Yeah.
I don't see any music anymore because of my ear. I wind up with such bad bell ring and freaking headaches for a week afterwards because I'm deaf in my left ear, or mostly deaf in my left ear. And so any type of loud, obnoxious music, which is the only kind I like, winds up costing me a lot of pain.
Sure.
Over the course of time afterwards. So I don't go to shows very often anymore, which really sucks for me. It was my life for so long. And, but when I did, I just started, I would prefer to go see bands I've never seen before. I don't do the nostalgia thing very well. Never have. Don't know why.
Tori, thank you so much for that sub. Papa Chicken says, I officially became old yesterday.
Hey, Chris.
What's that?
What does it sound like when you pop a chicken?
Ooh, we're going to try this new one. Whoa, did you see that, chat?
I
almost dropped that. Oh, cash money.
That is not what a popping chicken sounds like. That's not new. Those are old sounds.
You pulled a muscle, Papa Chicken?
Don't do that.
Oh, no. Hey, that's how it happens with back
problems.
You go to work, or you work on the construction site, or you do anything bad with your back, and then it's the little crap that gets you.
Oh, 100%.
That's it. That's what happened to my back.
Back pain is the absolute worst, and it can be crippling.
Yeah, it is not fun.
Absolutely
feel you.
Crippling.
I had a unfortunate event with my back just from
like Lemony Snicket's.
What's that? Oh, I understand. Okay. I gave my cousin his baby back. I was holding his baby, and that's what it did.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back. That's what I would have said.
How about you keep your money?
I want
and
my
I
baby
get
back,
your
baby back, baby back. Get in my belly.
Hey, wait a tick. Is that a baby? Is that a baby?
Get in my
Dr.
belly.
Evil, why don't you keep your money and I get your baby? Here we go. Anyway, hey guys, I recently picked up most of your paint line, and I can't say enough good stuff about it.
Awesome.
Also, quality control on your brushes so far is amazing. We take the time, so we appreciate that. Thank you.
Very, very important to us as painters that we want to open our stuff that we buy and start using it and find it enjoyable. It's amazing that way. And so we really do go the extra mile, especially with our brushes, to make sure that you get to enjoy them as close to right out of the box as humanly possible.
Yep.
Doesn't mean there aren't errors along the way, but we sure try to take care of all that stuff.
And for those of you just now tuning in, welcome.
Welcome.
We're so glad you're here. We're doing some...
Speaking of welcome, Chris.
Wait a minute. I went off the... What do I do? I don't know what to do with my hands.
Speaking of welcome, everybody.
Welcome in, everybody. We're painting up some Iron Warriors quick workup today. Little pivot from our Blood Angels, but that's okay. We're here to keep it fresh.
It goes right in line with everything we've been talking about.
That's right.
It fits the theme, the narrative,
Jason has
the story.
If you look back at our past VODs, Jason has been painting up an entire Blood Angels army to a great level, and now we're pivoting a little bit to make it a little bit faster of a workup with the Iron Warriors.
Yeah,
and
fast.
I love this work.
Yeah, because we really have. It's what we've been talking about. It's the Chris loves the workups.
Darn it! I just caught myself. I do like this workup.
I like all the workups.
Oh,
Chris likes workups.
I like workups. This is especially literally this one is my favorite way to paint ever.
Well, it creates such good look with so little investment.
Yes.
So we always talk about, and it's a thing that I bring with me from motorcycles and welding and cars, is you can have good, cheap, or fast, pick two. You can't have all three.
I feel like this is it.
And so what do you do? Well, in our world, cheap doesn't mean money because we assume you're doing the painting, not paying somebody. But,
right.
So cheap is the amount of time and mind investment, right? Because you got quick is time. But how much, if you want it cheap, right, it means that it can be done by everybody.
Yeah.
Right? And so I feel like this is good, cheap, and fast.
Good, cheap, and fast.
I think this one doesn't have to have us pick two. And that was what I was going for when I came in on Saturday. And I said, I want one that is good, cheap, and fast.
Yeah.
Because it can be done by the newest painters out there. You can see that nothing I'm doing here is anything. I say that all the time. But literally, this is nothing that everybody out there can't be doing themselves.
Right.
I'm smudging paint on a model at an absolutely horrid and horrifying rate.
You're going quickly, but this is like the what's that? The ugly phase in quotes, right? Where you're just going for it, and then all of a sudden this thing all comes together with.
I'm just loading the brush up with paint, and I'm throwing it on there. I don't even care. I'm smudging it. I'm getting it into crevices. I don't care. There's no dry brushing going on here. This is a very wet brush, right? It's like putting clown makeup on. No offense to clowns. I don't profess to know how to put clown makeup on.
Jason.
I didn't mean to just
Jason,
take your
we
entire
don't
career and make it seem like I can do that.
Hey.
What?
You could. I think
I could paint a clown face, but I'm not going to say that because we might have a professional clown out there that's like, oh, you think you could do what I do, buddy?
I'm going to say this, and this is going to be a very good thing, right? And don't take this the wrong way, world. But I feel like Jason could be a very, very high-end clown. Like a professional, high-end clown.
I don't deny that.
And I'm not talking about, like, show up to kids' parties. I'm talking about, like, high-level like high level comedy.
Where do high level clowns hang out?
I don't
I've
know,
never in
but
my
I
entire
feel like
55 years found this place.
I say that like if you went to the clown college, you did the whole thing with the something circus, like the official clown college of the United States. I think you could do it. But I'm very happy you decided to go with Monument Hobbies. And I say that as a very professional thing.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
How did you like that comment?
Color number 2. Orange brown. Moving right along.
I'm telling you.
Orange brown. This
He's
is
going quick.
another rusty color.
I can't even keep up.
I have to admit I'm a little sad nobody's called me dead sexy for my haircut. Or if you have, then I'm very mad at Chris for not repeating it.
Jason, I think your haircut looks great.
I got a haircut.
Jason's going on a trip, and
I needed my haircut no matter what. But yes, the trip did play its part.
I guess that's true. Not for the trip. It's to get it done before. Otherwise, you would have been looking extra wildly.
Same model, same brush. Didn't even really clean it that much. Now we're putting it in the yellow. Think of this as your highlight color. I want this on the areas on the top.
Can you show them a little bit of that? Oh, okay. Sorry, your hand was in the way. Ooh, okay. So you're only doing the tops, though.
Only the tops with the yellow.
Why? Okay.
Because I want to kind of bisect the coloring. I want it to be light at top, like a highlight. You know, think about a zenithal highlight. Yeah. So I'm doing this like what you would get out of a zenithal. Light on the top, dark on the bottom.
Oh, man. Okay.
Right? So I'm getting kind of a play of light a little bit here. But I don't want to spend too much time thinking about it. I want it to go fast, so it's yellow up top, orange on the bottom. Bingo, bango, bongo, done. Ta-da.
Wad said he did mention your hair. Wad. Oh, look at that. Okay, see, now this is where I go crazy, and I just do it all over the whole model, but I understand what you just said.
Yeah, I don't want the orange to go away,
yeah.
So I want to make sure that I get a color that's brighter, that still has that rusty quality, which I think the yellow does. Most of it we won't see because of the way I'm going to do the next coloring, but I think for what we're attempting, that this makes it really easy. And again, just kind of don't care attitude, just get it on there. Who cares? Bingo, bango, bongo, done. See? Nothing to it. Don't overthink it.
Wargaming says, love your paints. Just curious, is the Nova Open Orange a single year thing or Nova Open Orange all the time?
It's part of the line now.
Yeah.
It's not a limited edition. It is a color that is part of the Procro line pretty much forever. It may, I mean, if Nova were to call up and say, hey, we don't want you using our name anymore, then we might,
Did you just paint over it? For a second, I thought you just kept going.
Well, the shoulder plate fell off.
I know. I thought you just started going over the no shoulder plate thing. And just like, all right, here we go.
Wait a minute. I got to glue that back on. Let's take that paint off.
He's got to operate, chat.
I did not build these models, so I've had a couple of situations where there was no glue on a spot.
Yeah.
And so I'm having to very quickly go back and repair as I go through this.
Brent just hopped in. What are we attempting? Join late. Hey, we are doing a quick workup of Iron Warriors today using an underpainting technique that Jason likes using, essentially. And it's a really quick, beautiful, fast result.
Technique we perfected over the years for doing rusty metal. And here I'm just putting a twist on it so that we can paint quick and get these Iron Warriors done really nicely.
I did not assemble these, Big Bob.
No, these we bought from a guy on the internet, on Facebook.
We bought these from a guy off the internet.
In an alley. He had a trench coat. Hey, psst, kid.
Hey, Jason.
You want some Marines? You want some heresy, kid?
Aaron B says, Jason gets to paint and doesn't have to build. Privileged.
I am. That is my privilege right there.
That's not even a privilege. He paid for that.
Yeah, I do actually pay more for built models. I don't even care.
They're done half the time. Rav says, I'm a guy on the internet. Well, I guess a lot of people in here are guys on the internet and gals.
There you go. See how that works?
Guys and gals on the internet.
Everybody's like, wait a minute, does he have my models? Everybody just got up and went and looked in their case.
Wargaming Wanderlust says, thanks, you gents. Appreciate the dedication to the hobby. Just would love to see some Battletech minis painted. We painted up a lot.
And we will. A lot of people have been asking. We'll go back. I have a bajillion. I had to move a bunch of them this weekend to get to my trays that I could put all my models on trays. So yeah, we will. Just bear with us. We don't like to bounce around a lot. Yeah. Right now we're doing the Blood Angel thing, but we will get to them. We'll paint some Battletech. Yep. I've got 50 bajillion that need paint.
Welcome in.
I need to paint a bunch of filthy clanners. Same way I don't do the heresy. I don't do the traitors. I don't like to paint clanners.
Panic Bomb says, I decided to one-up Chris. I have 2 Titans now, but they're Legion Imperialis ones. Well, you know, those are cool. You know,
Legion Imperialis, that's amazing.
Actually, the War Master Legion Imperialis Titan is the Titanicus one. Is one of my favorite models.
It's a big model. It's like Night Titan size too. So
it's very fun to paint. I put like little trees from, you know, like it was stomping on. But yes, we are doing some Iron Warriors today, pivoting from our Blood Angels. I think actually, chat, I'm going to do some basing this week, but I'm also going to do this, but a big version of this on, and do some nooshing this week. So
yeah, I will not be using any noosh, so.
You'll be seeing me do this similar technique.
He'll be doing it similar up until the next step. The next step, I'm not doing what he does.
Oh, wait a minute.
Ta-da!
What do you mean?
Know what I'm about to do.
Are you going to do something
I'm
fancy?
Gonna turn it on your head.
Oh, maybe I'll have to try it then. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Imitation Margarine says, I just got my noosh order in, and I'm stoked to use it.
Oh, it's so good.
Tune in this week. I'm going to show you how to use, well, I'm going to show you my way of doing noosh. Jason does, that we have a video on our YouTube.
Chris dunks things in it.
I love it so much, you guys.
It's like him in a bathtub of noosh. It's like that meme you see, or the thing that the TikTok trend. It's like this.
We're going to get messy.
This and a bottle of wine. Chris's is this and a tub of noosh.
We're going to get messy, but you're going to love the result. If you got big robots.
Right, there we go. We have 9 of squad boys, bros. There you go. Done, chat. There you go. That easy. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, no. Michael Holt says, I'm building a Bloodthirster, and I'm looking to paint shades of black and gray. Do you have any suggestions for a workup for a Bloodthirster?
Shades of black and gray? You mean you don't want him red skin? You want him black and gray skin?
Is that what you're asking, Michael Holtz?
I think starting with a dark purple or Payne's gray would be really great, right? To have the shadow on black skin gives it kind of an alien feel, a demonic feel, with that bluishness to it. So I'm a big fan of purple or blues. I know I'm a big fan of them anyway, but on demon skin, it works amazing. And then over the top of that, you know, dark neutral gray, bright neutral gray for your highlights, or the warm grays mixed in there, whatever you like. And you're done. Then you put like a black wash over the top of the end. Easy peasy.
He says that, and now he's going to do something wacky. All right, Jason, what do you do?
So normally we would then dry brush like dark silver over the top of these guys, right? Because the nice thing about this is you've set up this really horrible, rusty undertone, and then we would dry brush dark silver over the top, gives it a neat, dirty armor. That's how we did this model, right? So you take and you do, this was burnt sienna, burnt orange, yellow ochre, very similar to what we had here. You can see those colors in there. And then we dry brush dark silver, dry brush silver. And you get a really neat beat up armor in no time at all. We did this on stream, took like an hour to do a whole model. So it happens super quick, gives you a really nice beat up, fantasy style, worn armor. No washes, no nothing. Just super easy. Right? We're not going to do that.
Okay.
Because what I wanted is a way to make this go quicker, right? Remember, we're all about speed with this. And that dry brush is not as messy. You have to take some time with that dry brush coat because you're trying to get silver coverage on the model, but also having to do it as a dry brush to keep the shadows where they need to be. So I didn't want to worry about that. So I want speed. So I built it for speed. So dark silver, and we're going to do dark silver in the airbrush. Okay. So we will pick speed up by using the proper tool, and just dark silver with water is all we're going to do. And I'm going to probably double the amount of material like that.
Okay.
And stir that up.
Kind of surprised it's not magnesium to start, says Agrippa.
Could have been. Could definitely do magnesium, but I just wanted to get straight to it. I've already got the colors, that brownish, yellowy color that I love for magnesium already is there in the oranges and the yellows. So I don't know that it has the impact that I wanted all this to have. But you definitely could.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we're doing there. Right in the airbrush. Right in the airbrush. Right. This is super, super thin, so it should let us see quite a bit of our coloring through there.
Okay. Nice. The Amazing Sauce says, why no glaze and wash medium?
Because I'm going fast, man. Don't need it. Honestly, don't need it. Just water is A-OK for what we got going on. I mean, look at that.
That's great. That's awesome.
We really don't need to worry too much about anything. Just make sure we don't leave any spots that don't have any silver up from underneath, too. I don't want anything to be like pure black shadow. I made that mistake on the test model. I was just kind of blowing and going, and I didn't get the underneath of all the armor, and so I had to go back and fine-tune it a little bit as I went. But okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ta-da.
I like that. Okay. Ryan says, I was here for the stream where you did the claws for the Blood Angels Dread. Would you make any changes to sell a non-metallic power sword with the same idea?
You mean as far as you want to keep the same colors, or you're changing the colors to be like a traditional like blue power sword? Because you can do all of what I did with blues, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
You could do like with blue claws and stuff.
Yeah, like I plan to do a lot of the lightning claws that way in this army and stuff. So yeah, you can definitely do it with.
Or Ryan says a volcanic power sword. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You can just do the same colors on a power sword. It's just a bigger area, so you get a little bit more room to play with your textures, which can be cool.
Yeah, this is a cool. That's a cool way of doing this step. I guess I'd never really thought about just doing it through the airbrush like this.
Well, the airbrush doesn't give you the same shading and value on the model, but for these little guys, that really doesn't matter as much because we can afford to put a wash on them, and that's what we'll do. And that'll also give us another way to filter a color over the top, so we're not worried about any kind of, top-down angle or lighting on this. You're literally just making sure that you get a good thin coverage of this metallic on everything. Now, I'm painting so thin that I got to be careful that it doesn't pull up, but it behaves pretty well.
Now, D-Fresh says, would you say this is more of a filter, not going full opacity with dark silver?
Oh, yeah, it is 100% a filter. Right? Zoom in real tight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that guy. That's really cool.
But look at the color nuance I get by having the yellow up at the top and the orange down at the bottom. See? Yeah. It almost is like the earth tone is up on his boots already, kind of a feel.
Okay. That makes sense. That's a cool way of doing that. Ozzy, why paint metallic over red, yellow? You're seeing the example right now. It's essentially like a rusty metal. Or
it gives you a very rusty metal.
Yeah.
Keeps you from having to apply that rusty tone over the top, which can get real sloppy a lot of times.
Yeah.
And take over the coloring. I don't want these guys to be like rusted. I want them to have the idea of rust,
right,
or that environmental coloring on them, and not be like the Tin Man from Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz or anything. But I do want them to have a little bit of nuanced color to them, if you will, that feels like rust or dirt. And that underpainting is a way that you'll see us use here often for various things, from skin to armor to you name it. We use it all the time.
Ryan Scurvy says, would you have a darker area on the blade outside the heat source of the generated blade, then come back with a brighter red on the edge, going back to the way you did the claws?
No, the edge is on this is done darker. See how I've done the edges? I did them dark, right?
Refocus that. Oh, yeah, I see.
All the heat on this is coming from the inside core of the blade, so I wanted the edges to be like thinner. They cool quicker at the edge, and then have the ability to have that carbon form there.
Yeah.
Our metallic sprays so well, and it really give you a lot of pigment and a lot of shine, even when they're thinned this much, because that was a lot of thinner. You know, this was basically like 2 to 1, at least 50-50, if not greater, on the thinning on these guys. So,
Papa Chicken says, say you're doing this.
Hey, Chris.
Oh.
What does it sound like when you pop a chicken? I love how the duck always makes it in there somewhere. Why is a duck in there? That makes any sense to me.
That's why.
Why is there a duck?
Pop Chicken says, so you're doing this, say you're doing this, and then doing a freehand over the top, but mess up your freehand. Ooh, how do you put the nuanced metallic back on?
Don't mess up your freehand.
Yeah, I'd throw it away.
Get good, scrub.
You're done. Sell the house. Get a new name.
I mean, you can always do this on a single individual piece if you need to.
Yeah.
You can also recreate the nuance of color with a brush by filtering it on and not having to go back and do all of this, like bust the airbrush out again and all that if you need to as well.
Or
it's going to take you longer.
You could also reprime it. Reprime, Jay. Just do it again. That's what I would do.
I don't support this line of thinking.
Just reprime it. Be done with it. It's better than selling the house.
I don't agree with this line of thinking.
Jason, you're going to be the Tin Man after this. That hand of yours.
I have sprayed my hand a little bit. It's a very loose, wet paint, so yes.
Jason.
Sir, yes, sir.
Could you center up for me a little bit
No,
more?
I can't. You
Thank
just
you.
quit.
I appreciate it. They appreciate it. It's funny you mentioned reprime, Jay. I was just thinking about repriming and redoing all of my work trucks like this. Hey, there you go.
I want to see this.
We're also, get ready, folks. This week is a huge week.
I need to remix my paint. That last guy was too dark.
Too dark?
Yeah, I think most of the metallic
got to the bottom.
Got to the bottom because it's so thin.
Right.
And so that last guy was just too dark. So I'm going to need to remix and do a little bit more. Because I'm not getting any flake. I'm getting all pigment now.
That sounds like a good plan, Jason.
Got to do what we got to do.
Hey, Chris is asking Jason to do Chris's job. Interesting. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's normal around
what?
here.
What are you talking? Wait a
Totally
second.
normal
About
around here.
him centering up? That's not my job.
Totally normal around here. You tell the guy to buy a pan tilt.
No.
And all of a sudden, it's my fault.
Jason, I'm going to make this one pitch to you right now. We could get... No, never mind. No.
I've asked for it for years, and he just is like, Jason, we can't spend that kind of money.
No, you haven't.
Monument
you literally have not.
Money doesn't grow on trees,
I'm gonna
and
get
Monument is a responsible company.
I'm going to get a sticker, and I'm going to put it on this paper, and if you and Baby J don't have your hands there, then I'll...
Oh, sure, make it our problem.
Oh!
They make a piece of technology that would make this work, and you just refuse. I don't know why. I don't understand this at all. They make a piece of technology that literally does this.
All right, you heard him, chat. A piece of technology. You actually can get a Sony FX6 body that has a built-in PTZ cam. We could spend $12,000 tomorrow. Hey, what do you think, Jason?
I don't know why you're laboring me with all of this. I've told you, just,
We're doing it. You heard him, chat. Upgrades coming. No. We'll just tell him to keep centering up. But he's airbrushing, so we have to give him some leeway here.
It's not like they haven't seen it all already, Chris.
That's true. I know.
And
yes.
You already got your cut.
Crabosaurus, you just earned some sushi points for knowing the model of the Sony FR7, which is what I would love to have for the studio, but totally overkill. That's one sushi point to you, Crabosaurus. Cameras, that's the way. Gosh, if we had a Sony FR7, dude. Had like 3 of those in here, just wiggling around. I got autofocus PTZ on the model so that every time Jason and Jordan get all wily on me, it just follows their hand. Oh, I know.
He needs a moment, chat.
Kreb says I work in... Yes, Yikes, they'd be so great. We won't do that. These work fine. I'll just get a sticker. I'll get a sticker. Agrippa says, I have to finally ask after all this time, Chris, what's your favorite type of sushi roll? I don't really have a favorite, to be honest. They're all good. Is that an acceptable answer?
No. That was cheap.
What?
That was cheap and escapist.
Escapist?
Yeah, that's a man who didn't want to answer the question.
They're all good. The roll that goes in my mouth.
The one that I eat.
The ones that taste good. Plot twist. Chris doesn't actually like sushi. I love sushi. False, Tadpole Jackson. You're fired. Banned. But thank you for that sub earlier.
Oh, Chris.
No, don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
You're banned, but you can't leave.
Monument Phillip says, I missed Christopher's reaction when Jason started airbrushing the dark silver. I was like, whoa! That was my reaction, Philip. The Avian says, Chris, will you do a tutorial to help us? You see your models like they actually are on the table by showing the unclean masses how to adjust photos from their iPhone. Get good. Avian, it's a 3-point light system. Your phone is fine. You need better lighting. That's it. Dark background, better lighting. That's my 2 cents on the matter. Send me your pictures.
He's not wrong.
It's not harsh. It is harsh, but it's fair.
It's
Avian.
fair.
Yes, Philip. I was very... it pleaseth me when Jason started doing this to the airbrush. I do get a weird satisfaction of using one of my old great-grandmother's massive brushes to dry brush all my crap. So, I don't get that out of the airbrush.
No.
You know?
No, you just have to deal with it.
How you doing up there, Jason?
Good. We're done with the airbrush for now.
Okay.
It's just that one layer. Then we're back to dry brushing.
Avian, no. I'm a good man. You're a good person. You are good. Just better lighting.
You know what the easiest color to clean out of your airbrush is?
Water?
Dark silver.
Oh, that's a little
when it's thinned down to absolutely nothing.
Because it's just the flakes at that point.
Oh, it's hilarious how easy it is to clean this up.
That's fine.
So it doesn't take a lot of time other than to mix it. But like you saw, it's just like, I don't know. I would call that 1-to-1 at minimum, 2-to-1 more likely thinning it. But as you saw, spraying for a long time, which I didn't run into because I only did one model on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I probably would only mix enough and pour enough into the cup for like 5 guys at a time. And then rinse it out and then do the other 5.
Okay.
I poured the whole cup in there and all the pigment settled. And so the first guys were a little bit more colored.
Now, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, that happens.
Oh,
Paid professional, chat.
Thank you. I go back. I go back. Ozzy says trims will be brass.
No,
bronze,
I'm not doing any trim.
Oh.
No trim.
Man, Jason's just full of He is this. He is. Oh, that's.
I may go back on sergeants and characters and do bronze on the shoulder plates and stuff, but dudes are just dudes. They're just getting done, dude. It's like, bow, get me an army, get it done, make it look good, and make it not take very long.
I love how you did your hazard stripe in quotes because you don't like.
Yeah, I don't like doing hazard stripes. There's no need for them.
But that's the best way to do it, Jason.
Yes, exactly.
He's on a roll right now, chat.
Silver.
This is Jason on.
We're not messing around here.
He's not messing around. Okay, what's next?
Silver. I just said silver.
No, like what's next?
I'm dry brushing.
He's on a mission. He's got business this week and Iron Warriors to paint. Little does he know, I'm going to take the rest
I only
of
got 1 day of your time this week, chat. You're stuck with these fools for the rest of the week.
No, we're going to have such a good week, chat. I'm going to teach you things.
And so I have to make sure that it feels like being here on Monday was worth 5 days.
Jason.
That's what I got to do.
No, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do the rest of your Iron Warriors.
Whoa. Yikes.
Oh, you have no power here.
Yikes. Okay, so this is more dry brushing. I'm going to take a lot of the paint off to the side on the paper towel.
Okay.
And then we're going to do a standard top to bottom dry brush where I get the details and the highlights done.
Okay.
Really simply.
You show that to the camera a little bit. Okay, so just light dry brushing.
Yeah, scoot in more.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot in more. Dry brushing is always hard. It's very difficult for me to do it and keep it on camera.
Yeah.
Because I don't get the same leverage with my hand in close that I do with a normal brush. So I apologize if my hand covers any of this up.
We got the gist though.
But it's just a top down, right? Normal, everyday dry brush is what we're doing here.
Now, Ryan says, do you moisten your brush for all the dry brushing or straight
Nah.
dry?
Straight dry.
I only straight dry as
Straight dry. For this, for like the smudge brushing, I would wet it like what we did with the orange and the yellow. That was wet.
Okay. Why would one wet it over just being dry?
Well, because I'm using a wet brush technique versus a dry brush technique. I don't mean that to sound tongue-in-cheek. That's really the reason. When I was doing the initial orange and yellow, that's done like you would paint anything, right? You want paint coming off the brush. You want it getting on the model, right, in a normal way. And so get the brush moist. For smudge brushing, a moist brush does a lot better than a dry brush.
Yeah.
Because the dry brush will leave a lot of texture. But when we're doing edges, a dry brush is much better than a moist brush. So,
Moo Bear says, I've been using the matte varnish on some Heresy Marines, and I keep getting white buildup in some recesses, shoulder trim. When spraying it, I thinned the varnish down with thinner, tried with water too, and get the same result.
So you shouldn't be thinning the varnish. If you thin the varnish, you're going to lose some of the matte anyway. So I don't recommend thinning the varnish. You're pooling it up too much if it's turning white, because that's too much varnish piled up in an area, and that's probably due to the thinning. It's probably so thin that it's running into the crevices almost like a wash would and giving you problems because of it. So be careful with that. I literally put the varnish in the airbrush and spray the varnish. All of our products that are made for spray like that can just be sprayed.
Ooh. Lewis has a great question and very, very on topic. How do you get the strength and mental to do army painting like that? This is the whole...
Believe it or not, this is relaxing because the other army that we're painting is Blood Angels, and it's at this level.
Yep.
Right? So every single guy in my army, this is just a line troop, this is just a veteran assault marine. Everybody in my army is painted to this level, all of it with non-metallic gold, from the lowest foot troop. We did one of the dreadnoughts on stream, right? So it's like, going through and painting everything at this level is draining for an army this army has 70 models in it, that one does. So that gets to be a real beatdown to some extent.
Yeah.
And so this is like a palate cleanser for me in that regard.
That's a good point. And that's kind of the biggest point of our series is really tackling your army, right? And this is a really cool pivot example to show how to get guys done quick.
Yeah, it is mostly knowing, and we've been talking about this. There's a psychology behind army painting that rests on you knowing what quality you want it to be, so that you don't start beating yourself up when it's not, the best quality. If you want to do stuff like very fast, like these Iron Warriors you see me doing, then know going in that that's what you're going to get, right? Because if I have the ability to paint like those Blood Angels, it's very easy to fall victim to well, everything needs to look like those Blood Angels, right? Everything needs to look like a character model. And you can't do that and still maintain all of your sanity painting armies, I don't think. Maybe you can, but I don't believe that's the case, right? There are some people out there that just live for this stuff. They paint armies like nobody's business. Every week is another army. 2,000 points here, 2,000 points there. I'm just painting. More power to them. I can't do that, right? For me, painting armies is not a lot of fun. I'm a single character guy. I like painting the big models. I like painting the monster that's the key ingredient to your fantasy army. I like painting the leader with the banner. I like painting the big drama guy. I don't like painting the multitudes of, hey, I'm Space Marine number 467,000, right? Bow down to me.
Now, this is a great question from Chai Cat. How would you change this method for painting dudes that are mostly skin, like orcs or fire slayers?
I don't know that it works as well because of all the dry brushing. I do not tend to dry brush skin. I think that in that case, you are better off just doing like lazy man's layering on the skin.
Yeah.
Doing like a base coat and maybe one or possibly two, do a mid-tone and a highlight. My golden rule is you want 3 colors on everything on the model. And that means a dark color, a mid-tone, and a bright color. And I think you're better served doing that, which means if you're doing a bunch of fire slayers, then, you got to invest the time to make the skin look good, because dry brush skin is the easiest way to make an army look subpar. It's just a pain because it introduces a physical texture that looks like you didn't paint it well.
Interesting.
That's just the way it goes. Now, that's not the case with things like dryads. If your whole army is tree flesh, then you can obviously get away with it. So
yeah.
It's not fair, but if you're looking at dwarves, then that texture doesn't make a lot of sense on them. And so I'm a little skeptical of that. What I would do is
Oh.
Seriously? Seriously, person that put this together? They make good glue. The problem with this guy is that I can see that there was literally no glue on these spots to begin with.
Oh.
Because the point where they break off is literally like just, like you can see there's just like one little bitty white spot and not even like one teeny weeny white spot over here. So it's just ridiculous. Who puts these models together anyway?
Husker, yes. Restock on brushes.
If you're waiting on sables soon-ish, like within a month or so,
yeah.
We just restocked a lot of the sables, a lot of the synthetics, but not enough, I don't think, to get sable sets back in stock. So bear with us. They're coming.
Emerson said, I just made an Instagram account and it's going really, really well. There are a lot of new followers. Any advice for someone who's trying to put painted models on social media? Ooh, very
keep doing it. Keep painting at whatever level you feel comfortable painting and come up with unique stories and ways to introduce people to why they should look at your models. If you are a world-class painter, then that can just be that the models speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Because you've got such a high quality of paint that you're putting on them, and people just, fall in love with seeing the work you do. If you are a beginning painter and your models don't kind of do all the talking for you, don't feel bad. Come up with a journey. Let people follow along. There's a tremendous amount of painters out there that are, no matter where you are in the exact same place you are, right? Trying to find their path in painting models, trying to learn new techniques. And I think that either are very, very easy to pull off. You could just say, hey, join me on this journey as I learn non-metallic metal. Join me on this journey. Let's see if I can do this without knocking this off of here.
Man down. No, I didn't do that. That's not me.
Well, that's totally on him. Don't ever have Christopher build your models. He just doesn't know how to use glue. No, we bought these on Facebook Marketplace. So
I am a good builder.
This is questionable quality. This is somebody that was speed building. I mean, the mold lines are really clean, so I can't fault him on a lot of the quality that I've had here. I'm also going very fast and beating the absolute tar out of these models with the dry brush. So.
And the new airbrush primers are going to be in stock very soon, which we will announce.
Did we get labels?
I don't know if we got them yet. I know they're coming, and I believe
I thought they were
they're
last
coming...
week. Is that what Grant brought over here today?
No, he brought over something else. I believe there's other labels coming soon this week. I believe the primer labels are coming this week. Michael is not in today.
This silver works so good.
But yes, keep an eye out. We will make an announcement when those are in stock for you. If you're not on our Discord, by the way, we also do it via Discord and all of our socials. But join our Discord. There's a lot of you in here right now, so hop on over there to our Discord. If you're over on YouTube as well, we have a huge Discord community where we do announcements. We do whips. There's a huge community in there, so check that out.
Crossed the 6,000 member barrier not too long ago. Great community, lots of interaction. Bad jokes, really bad. If you like bad jokes, we got you. I think between like 3 people on the whole Discord of 6,000, we have like some of the worst joke tellers on the planet. It is absolutely top notch.
Papa Chicken says, "Hey now."
Hey, Chris.
What?
What does it sound like when you pop a chicken? That's just a duck. That's also a duck. All still a duck.
Jason's on a mission today.
If it barks like a duck, Chris.
And our mission today is Iron Warriors. I wouldn't even call this speed painting. I would call this reality painting. Because get that paint on the model. Because it's reality. It's going quick. It's going fast. I didn't stutter, Jason. This is reality painting.
Okay.
I was just trying to come up with a different word than
it.
Speed painting.
I totally understand. You didn't know what you were saying.
This is reality painting because we're here right now painting. It's reality. You like that?
Sure.
I want 1%. Every reality paint. Ludicrous speed painting.
He's gone plaid.
Jason is in touch with his inner Peter Turbo. He is turboing through these in a good way.
That is the Primarch of this Legion they call Peter Turbo.
Really?
Yeah, because his name is Perturabo, and so he's gained the nickname Peter Turbo.
Is he fast?
No.
Oh.
He's a big, slow, dundering fool.
Oh.
Yeah, I said it.
1 second. He said it.
I don't know that was the sound I would put to that, but okay.
I think it's quite accurate. Plaid, you say, Mo?
Don't start. That's Chris's job this week.
No. We're not doing plaid this week.
I told him that you were doing pink plaid.
No, you didn't.
I told him you promised. I did on Friday.
When I wasn't here?
Of course.
You threw me under the bus.
100%.
I'm not doing pink plaid.
He is, Chad.
We're doing a couple things, depending on... we're doing a very similar thing here. So... I won't have them, but I am doing a very similar workup on my Thunder Warriors, but I'm doing the regular dudes in silver like this rather than gold. I'm actually doing a very similar workup. Philip says he suffers from my brother is as good as me as my favorite thing and makes it everybody else's problem. Hey! Whoa, Philip. Bringing a gun to a knife fight.
Remember, Phil, Chris says he's ready to die.
Oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to fight to the death. I'm ready. Put me in the arena. I'm ready.
All right.
Yes, Rattlecan said, yes, we heard Chris is painting pink plaid. What?
Yep.
What are you talking about?
I told him.
No.
I told him what you told me to tell him.
False.
You said, hey, on Friday when I'm not here, I want to make sure that chat doesn't forget me. And so I want you to offer them up that one thing they want more than anything, which is for me to paint pink plaid. You just tell them, I'll do it. I will make it happen.
Jason.
I will make it happen. Somebody has to captain the Dutchman is how he ended that whole conversation. So that's how you know it's true. Because nobody talks like that except for Chris.
I don't know what to do, man.
Nobody. Okay, next.
Here we go. Wait 1 second. Nice.
Brown gray wash.
Why the wash?
Because it's a wash.
Oh my gosh. Blood Walrus. Yes, in fact, I do love the workup for my Thunder Warriors. I do love the workup. You know what? Jason, be proud of me. Instead of using a black wash, I did this same workup, but with Payne's Gray on my silver, and it turned out awesome. Payne's Gray wash.
And by same workup, he means completely different.
Exact same.
Again with the wash, just some water. I want it thinned down a bit. Anybody got time to add anything else? Or just a little squirt of water in there?
Jason is flying today.
I ain't messing around, man.
He's not messing around. And I will not do pink plaid because we will do real things on this stream.
Oh, this is pink plaid. You act like it's not real. You just broke hearts. You just broke hearts. People's literal hearts.
I don't know what I'd do pink plaid on.
I think you know. You do it on whatever you need to. Because that's what we do here. Whatever it takes. All right. So this is a big technical thing that you need to have 10,000 hours worth of experience doing. It's called a wash, and you do like this.
Nice.
This takes a heck of a lot of training. Only paid professionals on closed courses are able to do this to the level that I'm able to do this. I just need you to understand that should you be painting like I'm painting right now and not achieve the same fundamental quality, that it's because you haven't practiced enough and you don't chew your food. Just make sure you're spreading the wash around. You apply it to everything. I'm not cutting any corners. It's just going on everything on here. Don't worry about it, but make sure you don't leave it open and gaps in the middle of an area. You clean up any areas where it might pool up as you go, because the one problem with doing washes quickly is that you might not be paying attention and it might form a big puddle someplace, and you can't have that.
Iterator says, I need to slow this part down to follow it correctly. Iterator, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing
but he is
with
laughing
you.
at you.
I am laughing with you because that's a funny joke. And if you truly do need to, that's fine too. But I could hear you saying that. I'm like, wait a second. I got to slow this part down. This is the magic sauce. I'll maybe do pink plaid, chat. Maybe. Maybe. There you go. Can we get a tutorial on this? Would be so helpful. Yes, Tech Elf. That is why I'm recording these bits.
This is just a wash. Just a generic wash application. You saw me thin the wash, probably 1-to-1 with water is all you need. You don't want it to be something that is a tremendous shade. I'm using it more like I typically do with washes as a color filter. So, but it's going to, because we're using the brown gray, it is an amazing oily kind of dirty finish, right? So you can just see very quickly what it does. Without being as intrusive as black, it still lets, pop in real close.
Yeah.
Because they'll be able to see down on that shin.
Mm-hmm.
It still lets some of that rusty vibe come through.
Awkwardish, thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in, Raiders. We're doing some Iron Warriors today.
Hello.
We're doing a quick, fast workup. Awkwardish, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Welcome in, Raiders. We are knocking out some Iron Warriors today. And by we, I mean Jason. And by Jason, I mean all of us together.
I don't know how that works, but okay.
We couldn't do this without you, gang. That's what Jason would say. And by we, I mean all of us. The collective we. It's a
We the people.
It's a beautiful thing, really.
We the people.
But if you were not here at the beginning, rewind this VOD on YouTube after we're done and check it out, because this is the whole workup. Jason's going quick too. I say this very politely, right? I've never seen Jason paint this fast. Right?
Yeah, I don't typically.
You don't typically, which this
Again,
is cool.
it's when you set yourself out and you say, okay, look, what's the goal?
I'm hyped
For the task at hand.
Yep.
And the goal is to get a cool army done
Fast.
quick. And what better way than Iron Warriors? If you so let's talk about army selection.
I was just about to say, it's like, well, maybe everybody
Let's
should do
talk
Iron
about
Warriors.
army selection.
But it's so good, so quick. It's so satisfying.
Yeah, there's some, Games Workshop does a good job, believe it or not, with their lore in a bunch of cases by choosing color schemes that just kind of paint themselves. And this is one of them, right? It's just all metallic bros and throwing a wash over the top. We've spiced it up with the underpainting, with the rust color underpainting. I think it gives it a really nice undertone and a dirty kind of, Horus Heresy, more beat up vibe.
Yeah.
The Horus Heresy has always been presented in a way that makes it feel more grim and more dark than 40K, right? There's no brightly colored Tau, right? There's no speed freak orcs. There's no fun in the Horus Heresy. It's really what it comes down to. It sucks to say that, but that's kind of what it is.
Iterator says, if I started the video now, wouldn't have guessed that the initial burnt orange start. Yeah. That's the beauty of this underpainting technique.
Wouldn't have guessed what?
That you started with burnt orange.
Yeah. Yeah, because remember, the first colors that I paint a lot of times are only meant to be there in very limited quantities, and the reason you paint more than you need is so that you don't have to be so delicate with it. It doesn't eat up a lot of your brain power to do it, but it gives you a fantastic look at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right? Like having purple shadows. Nobody really thinks about that. And then when you have it at the end of a model that you've done, we could have done purple on these, right? Instead of the orange. And when you have it there at the end, it makes you look like a much better painter, because you've got this really cool nuance of color that everybody's like, oh, I really love the way the shadows are kind of blue. What made you do that? And it's like, well, there's this guy on the internet, and he said paint everything purple. So I did.
And he said paint everything purple.
So I did.
And so we did.
Oh, here we go.
We did it, Jason.
Oh, great.
Are you happy for you?
Is this communism?
Is this communism?
Is this communism? That meme with the anime guy with the butterfly. Is this communism?
Oh, that's funny. And by funny, I mean hilarious. And by hilarious, I mean Jason's painting Iron Warriors. So, if you are new here, I'm going to put some links up because there's a lot of new people. I've realized that, and I need to do my job as a paid professional to show you the way. Here's some links for you. I am not ending stream, so do not panic, everybody. I'm just realizing that I wanted to share some of this stuff with you because a lot of you are new here, and these links are the links to our store, to our Discord. We have a boatload of YouTube tutorials out there as well. And again, that last one is the Discord. So we have a boatload of Discord people too. We're over 6,000 members. So please hop in there and join the fun. And by fun, I mean serious business painting.
I don't know if we mentioned enough on this stream how freaking ridiculously good our washes are.
I think I don't know what I was going with that. I'm amazed by this wash. It's so amazing.
I just don't think we tell people enough that if you want a wash that just gets the job done and I don't have to do a whole lot of... I'm telling everybody, make sure you don't get puddles. And I'm like, well, it just kind of doesn't do that.
Dude. It's... Chris, are you painting your Thunder guys this week? If so, wouldn't you be just getting plaid? No, I see what you're doing there. No, I am not. I don't think I am? Question mark?
What?
I'm painting my guys.
I thought you were.
I am, but I'm painting other things because I don't have the rest of them yet. We're working on it, chat.
How is that even possible?
Also, I wanted to show you guys a big version of this technique. I really like doing the rusty metal technique, and I had a Gorkanaut, which is a big model.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So I thought about doing...
I remember you saying that. You were going to do the Gorkanaut. This
version, but the big version. I did that with my Stampa, but But I have a really cool like proxy Gorkanaut thing that I got from, I don't remember where I got it from, but it's the big moon one. So I'm going to do this, but bigger. And then I'm going to noosh the crap out of it.
That'll be fun.
And then the following day, you will get to see what the noosh looks like dried after 24 hours, or technically almost 24 hours. So you'll see it kind of come full circle. So that you can take both streams and see what the result is. Because it's going to look scary at the beginning. But you have to trust the process.
Noosh is not for the faint of heart when doing it on big models. It is one of those where you're like, okie doke.
And you know what? I did that on my first one and I've never gone back. So maybe, hopefully I'll show you guys some examples that will set something off for you. Dirty Breacher said, just got the transparent set and a few of the heavy body tubes.
Nice.
Can you give some ideas for uses for those and how you thin/prepare them on the wet palette and how transparent paints differ from washes? Ooh, that's a great question.
We get this a lot. Transparent paints are simply paints. They differ from washes because they're just paint. Washes are able, like you see me using right now, can provide you with a filter and a nice see-through thing, but they're totally different. The transparents are just paint. They are single pigment paint, lower viscosity, so a little bit more watery than our normal paints, but not too much. And you can see through them from the very beginning. Now, by see-through, though, they're super vibrant. Like the transparents are all very much the color of the paint. So transparent green, if I were to just paint it on this guy, he would be green. He would not be silver with hints of green like this wash is doing. He would be green because they are a paint that can be seen through. So the green would inherit some of the shine of the armor maybe and all of that, but it would be green. Whereas a wash is meant to literally just shift the color of the model that you put it on, not turn the model that color. Okay, if you have a wash where when you put it on, it doesn't show any of the color you put it over, then it's too thick, probably gone bad, right? That's not what they're for. They're meant to make shades and give you shadowy kind of coloring on a model, not to turn it a totally different color. The transparents are paints that are meant to turn the surface you paint them on a totally different color. Now, you can use our glaze wash medium with them and turn them into washes. Right? The glaze wash medium that we make is built to turn any color that you use into a wash, which is why we really only have, 7 different wash colors, I think, because we don't need a whole lot. You have the whole range that you can make into a wash simply by mixing paint in with a glaze wash medium at about a 5-to-1 glaze wash to paint. You can start less than that if you want, but just be aggressive with it and make a very thin wash out of it. The expert acrylics question is really as simple as treat them like any other paint. Get a wet brush. You can put them on your wet palette, get a wet brush and go after it. You don't have to turn them into a liquid is the big thing to take away there. You're not trying to thin them down to turn them into any other paint. You're trying to treat them like every other paint right out of the tube. Does that make sense? Don't turn them into a liquid paint. Let them pretend like they're in a liquid paint and just start painting with them. Just with water on your brush. Just go for it. You'll be surprised at how great they are. They're thick, but they lay very thin. So you can paint them right over the top of your model, and they don't give a lot of texture, but they give a tremendous amount of vibrancy. Mix fantastic. Glaze like a dream. On Saturday when I was thinking about all this, I was like, I should just use black wash, or maybe I mix it with something. And I was like, but what about brown gray?
Yeah, I did a very similar workup like this, and then I pivoted because I almost used this, right? The brown gray wash, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just try Payne's gray wash to see what it does, and I really like.
Yeah, the Payne's gray. If I were doing something that was less of a dirty feel that I was going for,
yeah,
Payne's gray would be the choice here.
That's kind of what I went for.
Because Payne's gray and the blue tone tends to feel cleaner if that's a word.
Yeah.
Even if it's, dirty, war-torn future, if you put Payne's Gray over your metallics, you're going to get a color that just feels like a little bit more clean. And that can be really good.
And Roadside says, okay, so I have some more questions about the transparents. What is their actual intended use? Why are they so fun to experiment with? And why can't you find enough projects to play them on?
Their intended use was to take the place of inks in our hobby. Because inks are something that a lot of people love, but they have a lot of real negative qualities to them. Not least of which is the fact that they re-wet. And they start moving on the surface. They have weird sheens. Not all inks are the same. They don't have enough resin in them to work on plastic models very well. Their light fastness isn't great all the time. So there's a lot of reasons not to use inks, but they look so good when they perform well. And so we came up with the ability to do something that gave us an ink-like finish without the hassle, because it's just an acrylic paint. It has the same resin as all of our other paints, so when it cures, it's the same tough plastic shell of paint that you know and love and expect from a model paint. Inks are not. Inks, no matter which inks you buy, inks are made to go into porous surfaces like paper and canvas. They're not meant to go, and shirts, they're not meant to go on top of plastic. Photo paper and stuff like that is where they shine. So far so good. I'm not moving so fast that I'm knocking the silver off. My fear when doing a very wet wash like this is I haven't given the models time to cure. So I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the brush is one thing to say in this case, because you're seeing me move super fast.
Yeah.
You got to be careful because the rest of this paint is not cured yet. It may be dry to the touch. It is not cured.
Okay.
And so when we put another paint over the top of it, there's a chance that we re-wet, like we're talking about with the ink. Because that's just a case of moving too fast. If I gave it another 15 minutes, we'd be fine.
Crab said, what would be the best color to make a wash as similar to Ranklin Flesh Shade?
Reichland Flesh Shade?
Reichland Flesh Shade.
It's a very warm red. Our flesh tone is very close. Our flesh wash is very close. That's why we made it that way. It's not exact. But it's a tough one, right? Because you kind of want like a dark flesh. I think I would probably pick dark flesh and make a wash out of it.
I'm not familiar with that color, so.
It's a reddish brown, which is what our flesh wash is. That's why the color of our flesh wash is what it is. So that it can be a close proximity to the old Reichland Flesh Shade. I don't know if they make it anymore or not, but they've changed it over the years too.
Wired says, bought the transparent set and love them. Nice.
Yeah, and when asking where else can you can use them in and on anything, right? They are the most flexible paint that we make.
Baby J uses them all the time.
Yeah, in terms of being able to apply them how you want, over what you want. There's no rules with them other than they are acrylic paints. Use them like you would use any acrylic.
Ryan says, would burnt sienna be close?
You could use burnt sienna. It'll be a little bit more orange, so it might be more like. I don't know. I think it'll be a little bit more orange.
Yeah. That's a cool bottle. That's a cool scepter thing he's got, like a mace.
Yeah,
that's a really cool mace.
On the sprue, they have the different power maul. I think this is what this is called.
Maul. I hardly know her.
I knew it was coming. Can't stay away from it, chat.
Maul, I hardly know her. Welcome in, everybody. We are speed painting, and by speed painting, reality painting, Iron Warriors.
Nobody
today.
knows what that means, reality painting.
Let me explain to you what reality painting is.
It's live.
You got it. Where's my... There it is.
But
reality
that's what
painting.
We do every day, so that's not saying anything.
I could say we are reality painting quite often on this stream, because in reality we are painting. Yes, artistic. Today great segue question. We are painting Iron Warriors today. Jason got the color scheme bug, it seems like, this weekend, And he's
not even a color scheme. It was just the ability to come up with a way to do an army very quickly.
Yeah.
And, it excited me to be able to be like, you know what? I could paint these Iron Warriors in between takes on the Blood Angels, and the only problem is that they'd be done.
I guess that's a good problem
While
to
I'm
have.
still working on the Blood Angels, right? Is that the unfortunate truth of a scheme like this is that it winds up just being way too easy.
Being done and cool.
Yeah, and when I would keep handing it to Phil on the weekend, because Phil was here hobbying and building his Imperial Fist while I was over here testing this out, and he'd be like, "What are you doing now? What are you doing now?" And then I just hand him a model he's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, maybe you should do this on stream.
And
no, this is good. It's a nice little palette cleanser, probably for you too, just to get back in the zone.
Well, yeah, and again, it's when I paint armies, it doesn't change when I say the level of quality I want to have doesn't change the fact that I still need to be able to see progress.
Yeah.
And what better progress than to be able to sit down and paint, an entire squad inside of 2 hours and get them to a point where you're like, oh, yeah, those could be done with just a little bit more work. We won't get the basing material on them today because that takes its own time. And
right.
Details like eyes and stuff, but being able to get to the point where you have the bulk of work done so fast just can't be countered. And it looks good.
Yep.
Right? It looks good with very simple things like the underpainting of the rust that you just wouldn't get from any weird dirty down texture or anything like that, because you're painting it constantly over the top. And that can wind up causing problems for the overall model, because you can wind up getting, too much grit and grime on them. I'm not a fan of big topical products most of the time. There's some that work great, but like trying to put the GW effect paints on a model, it tends to dry and look really weird.
Yeah.
And so rather than do that, do the techniques that we do on our better character models and when we're painting more display style pieces, and let them do their work on these.
Yeah.
Makes life really easy.
Beef Daddy says, thinking of starting a Harlequin army in 40K since GW released the Combat Patrol. Any advice on checkers other than being patient?
That's all you can do.
I was just about to say, I don't know if there's a lot of
Unfortunately, that's all you can do. Now, when you're setting them up and learning how to, because in order to get better, you got to practice. Well, how are you going to do it? I always paint the individual lines and then cross them over when I'm going fast. The thing that I've taught everybody over the years is that you really, in the perfect sense, have to paint squares, not lines. Because if you just paint the intersecting lines and then build up, one set of lines is white, one set of lines is black, or whatever diamond color you're trying to do on your Harlequins, the problem is that one of your diamonds or squares will always be bigger than the other. Because you're painting to the inside of the line for one color and the outside of the line on the other. And the color you paint to the inside of the line, so like say you're doing black and white checkers, and you paint white lines on a black field, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay? So you paint the shoulder, or you paint the leg on the Harlequin black, and then you paint white lines to make a checkerboard. Well, anything you paint on that is white will be bigger than any of the black squares. Okay. Because the white squares will also have the dimension of the line you painted on their border. The black squares will be cut in by that same line and made smaller. So a lot of people don't realize that when they paint the lines and then fill them in, that it looks funny at the end because you don't have a consistency of size. So that's the only thing I say be wary of as you're doing it, because that's also the easiest way, is to paint your lines on first. So paint very, very thin lines is the way to get around that. Because the thinner the line is, the less weight it carries, and the less it interferes with everything at the end. So that's my 2 cents as far as that goes.
Alton said, would you use the same metallic and gun casing scheme in the Ultramarine video for Blood Angels also? Which wash have you been used? Which wash would you have used at the end?
On what?
Yeah. Alton says, would you use the same metallic and gun casing scheme in the Ultramarine video for Blood Angels also? And that was...
Sure.
Gosh.
I did that weird kind of dark sea Ben.
It was that or dark navy blue?
No, I think it was dark sea Ben.
Dark sea Ben.
Because it's kind of a greenish, right?
And then you did a bright pale green highlight, I believe. It was a really cool universal gun casing.
Yeah, I would use it for any.
I've been using it.
Yeah,
for
any
anything.
chapter can use it. Boy, I am at the end of the wash.
You
boys
are
and girls. This is the last guy.
this.
Last guy and absolute end of the wash here, so I don't have to mix anymore. I am being very frugal.
No, Chuck, it's funny you mentioned that because there is a bit that I had Baby J do on checkers. It's somewhere in our deep VODs list.
The Volt.
The Vault. Our vault is deep.
All right, Chet.
All right, so what have you done? Bring everybody up to speed who's now joining us.
I have done 9 dudes that we
out.
started with burnt orange.
Yep.
We just splotch painted, I call it smudge brushing, where you take a domed dry brush, one of the bigger dry brushes, like the DD2, and we took burnt orange and orange brown, right? And we did the burnt orange on the legs and the bottom half of the shoulders, all the low spots from like the chest down. And then on the top of the head, backpack, and everything else, we did orange brown. So it was like yellow clown suit up top and orange clown suit down below. You're literally just punching paint on there with this round brush. It's splotchy. It looks horrible. And then, like, zoom in close.
Yep.
What it lets us see is you've got like a neat kind of orange glow on the underside of the shoulder there, on the legs. So it gives that kind of really cool rusted feel without being a rust effect on top. Because like I said, I don't want them to feel like, the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, but you see that rusty glow. But when you look at it, the metallic can look as clean as it needs to be, but it just has this little nuance of dirtiness to it in the edges, right? And so it works really well. Then over the top of that, I airbrushed. I thinned down our dark silver paint, right? I took dark silver and I thinned it like 2-to-1 with water, just water. I wanted it super thin, super low viscosity, and then just spray it over the top, very misting-like, right? It's not going to give you much opacity. So I misted it over the top of the orange and the yellow, and it gives us just a really good overlay of a dark, dirty metallic. Then I dry brushed with a DA1 or a DD1, right, the small dome. I dry brushed with that with just silver, the brighter silver. So a big contrast between that and the dark silver. I didn't go to steel. I tried it with steel on the test model, and steel was too close to the dark silver when you sprayed it over the top of those other colors because it brightened up a bit. So just dry brushed it with silver to get some highlight. And then now we've put a wash over it. And then we will go back and dry brush more silver over the shoulders and the gun at the top. And from the top only, like down to about the knees, we'll dry brush silver and then leave the feet dark in most cases. That'll bring our highlight back up. And then they're ready to finish, right?
Yeah. Nice. I mean,
super quick.
Look at that.
And then I put the wash, the brown gray wash over the top is what we just did.
How many guys was this?
9 to finish out the squad.
Nice. Would this technique work just as well with non-metallic base color?
This is what it looks like when it's done.
Mm.
And this guy took me, I don't know, ask Phil, like an hour and a half.
Okay. Would this technique work just as well with non-metallic base colors?
Non-metallic, these were non-metallic base colors. What do you mean? You mean like where I use the silver, use something else instead? Sure, we did that with the ultramarine, right? We just didn't airbrush the blue. We did it sponge brush. But this started with orange, so he has kind of a dirty, rusty feel in the crevices on this guy. And then we built the blues up all with dry brush. So this was done with no airbrushing, so it makes it even easier. But yeah, same kind of concept. If you wanted to do it with airbrush, you could, yeah, 100%. The metallic is no different than a normal paint as far as how it reacts to being thinned for opacity.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mark II armor is really good for washes. Would bag acryl work for the burnt orange stage? No.
Yeah, you just dunk them in it.
Hey, that's okay. Oh, here we go. Sorry to jump backwards, but say the expert acrylic glaze like a dream, but you also said not to try to thin them down to a liquid paint.
If you're going to glaze, you can thin them how you like. Remember that with a glaze, you can turn them into more, but you don't have to take them all the way down to liquid state. What I mean is for like base coating and stuff, don't turn them into a liquid paint. Just use them as out of the tube like they are with just a little bit of moisture on your brush. You'll find that by adding a little bit more moisture to it as you go, you'll get to where they make really good, like literally 1 to maybe 2 coat glazes to get really good coloring. They just work like a champ. All right, so here's always the scary part. I'm going to start dry brushing and assume that my wash is dry on the first guys.
You're going to, I'm sorry, you're going to dry brush now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right over the top of a wash, going super fast. Don't try this at home. Let your models dry a little bit better as you wash them, right? Because you can dry brush over the top and it'll move the wash if it has like, because it gets in the divots and you'll grab it with a hair of the dry brush and move it around.
I do this all the time though. Personally, and sometimes Jason's right. Sometimes I get a little too excited, and I go and I'm like, "Oh no!"
Same DD1 small dry brush, and again, not getting it wet, just really dry brush. And the goal here is to bring back the highlight shine on the top edges. So here we're using it strictly as a detailed dry brush, right?
Brew for the Brew God says, I got the master set and a few signature sets a little over a month ago. I bet you meant the mega set. My love for painting has rekindled. Your paints are the best.
Awesome.
Any recommendations
that means the world.
for a paint rack to hang on the wall? Is there anything you guys are using that could pick up somewhere?
The gentleman on Etsy that makes the racks we use in the studio, I think he stopped doing business.
Yeah,
like I couldn't find anything from him the last time we wanted to check for people.
There's a couple. If you type in Etsy Pro Acryl, there's several different.
Litgo makes one that goes on the wall. There's some people out there that do. We have not tried them, so I can't tell you that they're great because the one that we use here in the studio that I would normally say use this, the guy just gone.
Yeah, I think also you could do acrylic nail polish racks. I've seen people do that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Sure. They just don't hang on the wall as much. Oh, I guess they do make them that do.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people like drill them into the wall. Josh Willie's, yeah. You can also get ones for your desk. But our bottles fit really well in those.
There you go.
Awkwardish says, I love my clear nail polish racks. Yeah, those work. Okay, so you just did another thing of silver over this.
Yep.
And then you did coal black on the shoulder pads?
Yeah, I just do coal black on the shoulder pads. But now this is the done silver. This is the way the silver on the armor is.
Oh, look at that.
Right?
That's perfect.
So that's the last step. Armor's done. Just a light dry brush of silver, and you're just catching edges. You might get a little bit on like the helmet.
Yeah.
But you're not trying to really turn anything bright silver. You're just trying to get edge highlights and the cylindrical highlights on the arm, fingers maybe, right? You just want that glow up high on the backpack, shoulders. Obviously the gun. Really easy stuff here. Not using a lot of pressure, so I'm not building up a lot of texture. I just want to kind of feather it on there, kind of smacking it. And like I always say, the biggest thing with dry brushing, make sure all your brush strokes go in the same direction. I'm only ever applying paint on the downstroke, never on the upstroke. I get the bottom heel and leg where it pokes out from the shadows. Might get a little bit on the top of the knees, toes. It's up to you. Bingo.
Bing, bang, boom.
Now it's super quick.
See, this kind of technique gets me wanting to paint an army. Hopefully you guys are all kind of experiencing that too. Every time I see this in particular, because I love the satisfaction it brings so quickly, right?
Yeah. That's really the key, right? Is that you can get so much done and not have to invest a whole lot of labor.
Yeah.
Again,
absolutely.
I'm a lazy painter, but I don't like lazy outcomes. So you have to find the way that you can use simple techniques.
The balance, right?
Right? Find ways you can inject simple techniques into your complex painting mechanism and get the look that you want. That's the whole game, right? How can you use dry brushing as much as possible without getting the negative effects of dry brushing? You know? Always be looking for ways you can utilize, very simple but easy to manipulate techniques for the best of their abilities.
Brent says, for a filter, should I thin the transparent paints when spraying them from an airbrush? I know you recommend thinning them when applying with a brush.
Yeah, very thin. And you can thin them with the airbrush. It's up to you. What is the technique that you're trying to do really want? And how confident are you with an airbrush? Because, you're not going to do everything with an airbrush, but they work really well being run through an airbrush. It just comes down to what look are you going for. If you're trying to just get, a blue filter in a shadow area, then probably thin it down, use your brush, right? Especially on something like a small wargaming figure.
Jade said, this is helping. I'm going to be painting an army for a friend. This is a great way to paint an army for a friend.
Yeah, this is really a great way to paint an army for a friend.
It looks dope, it's quick, and it gets your friends playing with you.
Well, and you can imagine, right, if you're doing commissions, this could be a great way, not that everybody's commissioning Iron Warriors, but, this could be a great way if you can find these kinds of techniques to adapt, that this could be a fantastic way to get armies done quick and make a few bucks. Want to paint for your friends? Yeah, sure. You can charge them $5-10 a model, whatever the market will bear, or whatever your friend rate you want to charge.
$1 million.
Yes, that's what I charge Chris.
He does. I am in mass amounts of debt.
Yes.
Mass amounts.
All I got to do is figure out how to get the actual money from him and stop the IOUs.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll get there. I got a piece of paper that says, this is good as money.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, it does say wink, wink on it, too, which is a little annoying.
And speaking of wink, wink.
Welcome, everybody.
We're so glad you're tuning in with us today. We are doing a Iron Warriors pivot today. We were doing Blood Angels last week. You had the beautiful pleasure of having Gabe around. So I'm so happy for all of you. Hopefully he treated you well.
Yeah, I just want to say big shout out to Gabe.
Big shout out to Gabe.
Big shout out to Gabe. Gabe did a fantastic job.
He did. No free pub for him. I cancel all of this. This is getting edited out. Whatever, Jason, keep going if you'd
There'll
like.
be no record.
No, this is out for sure.
This happening.
This is done. This will not go live. I'm just kidding. We love Gabe. That's great. Chris has a mini mortgage. I do. I like how you said that. Mini mortgage. Like miniature mortgage. Mini mortgage. I like that. Good for you, Hired. That's a real clap. I liked that joke. Here we go. Gabe is a grade A producer. Panic Bomb, you are fired. You are banned.
Wow.
You are canceled. You are off the air. You are done. You are, whatever else you would like.
Wow. I don't know that
buried alive.
I don't know that it deserved all that.
You are
I gotta be careful.
done.
Be careful up here. This backpack still got some wet wash in there.
How would you vary this workup for Necrons? Heck,
I don't know that I would have to. I think you could just use it. Why would you have to vary it? Just do it. This is basically Necron's done.
I was just about to say this is an awesome way. Gravity says, unfortunately, dry brushing is one of those techniques that is easy to learn but hard to master.
It is.
Before you get some satisfying results, you have to sacrifice a lot of minis.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have to sacrifice too many, but I do see where you're coming from. It is a technique that can ruin things if you take it too abruptly. I see a lot of people who put a lot of pressure on their brush stroke and are trying to just be like, oh my God, make it finished. And it's like, what dry brushing really does is let you build up, do light brush strokes, see how it changes the color on the model, then do a couple of heavier brush strokes as you build up, and not try to get it all done with one. I say that about a lot of things, though. I think that one of the biggest hurdles in our entire hobby is people expecting that there's like a silver bullet method to do things. And a lot of the YouTube videos tell you there is, you know? 11 out of 10 doctors agree. Nobody wants to know this one simple trick. That kind of clickbait mentality has kind of hurt us because it's like, oh yeah, this guy's telling me how to do this thing, but he's been painting for 40 years.
Yep.
And, I haven't been painting for 40 years. So one of the things I always try to kind of get people used to is take it easy, err on the side of needing more layers than one.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, right, then chances are you won't mess up as much with your dry brushing because, you'll be like, okay, I can do it lightly. Jason told me to. And as I do a light brush stroke with the dry brush, I get some color. And if I want more, then I do it again. And usually in 2, you can make it look exactly the way you want to. Right?
Yep.
Whereas a lot of people just try to do it in 1 because they've watched somebody experience do it with 1 pass and don't try to recreate that. If you see somebody do 1 layer, you just automatically tell yourself, I'm going to do it in 2.
Iterator says, can we call this silver setup the silver bullet method? I
didn't think about that, but
I love that. This is kind of a silver bullet method, but it, going off of what Jason says, because this is so fast and good. Real silver bullet.
Yeah, this is silly.
I love that Jason is, as you're doing...
I said it the whole time I was painting with Phil the other day. I go, Phil, this is dumb.
You're doing this and you're like, this is silly. This is great. What am I doing? This is silly.
And I don't normally have armies where something like this takes care of the whole army, right? It would be like the last time that I did this on a lot of models was the Lord of the Rings stuff. Because of course it was, right?
Yep.
Lots of orcs.
Yep.
In their armor, and you can do dirty armor for orcs, and they just get done very quick, and they look good. On them, I spent more time with like the detail bits, right? But this doesn't even need that. I'm just like, just get guys done. There's a lot of tanks in this army. I can imagine doing the tanks this way and being able to get them done quick. So.
Yep, we're working on some Iron Warriors today. Doing a little dry brushing, a little washing, a little bit of everything.
A lot of the stuff you never see me do is what we're doing today.
Yeah, that's true. You don't do this quite often, so thank you for the pivot. I think this is definitely really helpful for some people. Yeah. And by people, we mean me.
Well, you can see, look at the difference after the silver dry brush.
Yeah.
Right? From that to where we started from. So it does brighten it up, but it still leaves enough of the mid-tone. That's what you have to be careful of. Very light touch. Let the mid-tone stay where it's supposed to, and then you're really just catching those top edges. But the top edges on something so small as a Space Marine brightens it up a lot.
Bippa says, I recently dry brushed metallic on a limited edition orc red oxide with dark silver dry brush over it. Yep. Very similar.
Works like a champ. Yeah, when you start understanding that you can underpaint with dry brushing, it opens up the world of dry brush's final look just a ton.
Yeah.
It turns dry brushing into something you're not ashamed or afraid to use in lots of situations.
Oh. Yeah. KC's got a great question, Jason.
What's that?
Okay, here we go. I missed the show. Can we show how paint loading works on the dry brushing, please? How you load your paint onto your dry brush?
Sure. Yeah.
I can zoom into the palette when he does that.
Yeah, let me get done with this guy and all. Or let me get to the next
you're good.
brush load, I guess.
That's a great question, by the way, Casey. Thank you.
Alrighty then. Ta-da. And there's a whole squad of armor done. You know what was that? Just sub 2 hours?
Just about.
while talking about it and doing it on stream. The okay, so dry brush, like the small one. Let's take that. So I've got my silver here. I've rinsed it in the water, but it's pretty much dry, as you can tell, right? There's not a lot of moisture there, just enough to where it's still flexible. So I've cleaned it, right? But it's not like leaving shine on my hand. It's pretty dry. I wipe it to make sure that it's really, really dry, because the damper the brush is, the more chances it has to put a larger splotch of paint on the model. So when I'm doing just edge highlighting, super dry brush. That's where the term comes from. Then I come over here, get the palette back up.
Oh, yeah.
Come over here, here's my little droplet of paint. Then I just dip it in the paint, right? And I have however much paint, if I think I need, right? So I fill just the tip of it up. And go back over to the top over here, right? And then I just have a napkin. Right? It's nothing fancy. And then I just wipe it off. I usually do it in a small circle, not pressing really hard, not hard enough to tear the napkin, but enough to where it doesn't give me a whole lot there. And then if I feel like I got too much on there, or test on my finger again, and then just come over here and start dry brushing. It doesn't get any easier than that.
Hopefully that answers your question, Casey. Pretty simple, but definitely understand that it's cool to see it from that perspective of just getting a good tip like that. So thank you, Jason.
Yeah, super easy. Not a lot of worry there. I typically am looking to start on an area that may be something I don't care as much about. So I might, as I start with it, I might start over on, say, the back low spot of his backpack. Like as I go and fill the brush up, maybe I come back and I just hit here to see how it acts. And if there's too much paint, wipe it off on my finger and then go back to using parts that I want. I won't like hit his head and chest with the first swipe most of the time if I'm not really comfortable with what the paint is going to act like.
Look at that, Jason. Right on time.
Yeah. So if you want to pop in close, we can take a look at a couple of these guys. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to pop in one more. There it is. Refocus.
We've got, even where we missed with some of the metallic, it looks intentional, right? It looks like rust or dirt on the thighs. So, that was a spot where I just didn't get it with the airbrush. I didn't get the metallic over it with the airbrush. Very light.
Which
There's a little bit there.
Yeah.
Right? But it still looks good and intentional. So you don't have to sweat it. There's not so much texture on these guys that they look bad, right? They just look like beat up metal.
They're great.
And so that gives us that nuance. There is still a lot of the orangishness and the yellowishness on the shoulder plates and the shadows there. So again, it just makes it look more filled with depth than if you just painted them, in a more simple manner, starting with silver. I really like the fact that it's the thighs. That's what led me to then want to do the red base on them, because now the red earth base, all that burnt orange that's up in the thighs and stuff looks like a reflection from the base. So it even makes the model look that much better.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't realize that.
So it looks like the environmental reflection on him is intentional. So it's just, again, it's another way to tell a story. Now, you could use any color under there. If you wanted to do bright green grass, you could have based these with green and you'd have the same effect. You'd have the reflection of green coming up from the ground. So it's really up to you. Now, we still have a lot to do. Obviously, we got to paint the shoulders black, but everything else that I've done here is really simple. A swipe of white across the eye slit, and then red transparent, and then 2 spots of white for the lights of the eyes, and then I just did yellow transparent over the top of that, and then just warm yellow, golden yellow with a stripe, and then black. It's just coal black, and then I took the airbrush real quick and did a spritz of warm gray.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, did you do any highlights on that?
Yeah, just a spritz with the airbrush of warm gray over the top. I didn't even have to mask them off because the warm gray is going to fit in with the silver color. So I just went and was done.
That's great.
So it made it super quick. This is a single pass of, I think, Dark Sea Ben.
Dark Sea Ben. And then what did you do the highlights with?
On what?
On the gun case.
There's no highlight. That's
Oh.
just the metal showing through because it's one very thin.
Oh.
It's one very thin
Okay,
glaze of
got
dark
it.
sea bin over the top of that.
Okay.
And the fact that it lets the shine of the dry brush show through, I didn't have to do any highlighting on it at all.
I thought you had.
I spent more time
okay.
doing the copper point and brass casing of the bullets than I did painting the gun case.
the
right?
copper points. Yeah. Wow.
And then I put a little bit of black wash on the thing here, just playing around on the chain bayonet end. And I still need to do, like, I forgot to paint these hoses. I got to paint those hoses black. That doesn't make sense. But you could pick out any details you wanted to. The reality is that in the amount of time it took us to do all the rest of these guys, I did this whole guy, including the base. And so now we've come back and done 9 guys in one stream to finish out that squad that only need the black shoulders, eyes, and gun case painted over, and then the basing on them, and they're done. So, another hour or two, and you got a full squad of guys done.
Nice.
So that's hard to beat.
Yeah.
All these people that say you can paint faster than that and get a squad of guys done, I just don't see how you could. Because I was blistering,
Yeah.
And
You
this
were
works
going
really well.
quick.
So
Cool. Well, thank you, Jason. Look at that. Perfect timing, too.
yeah, some of the helmets don't have but I think a lot of them do. A lot of these do. They have the Cylon slit. And I got a couple of guys here with bald heads, so I'll have to do some skin. Well, maybe only one. Yeah, only one on this guy.
One bald head.
But I have to paint some skin. But other than that, yeah, I'm just looking for shortcuts. Again, like when I look at the gun and I'm like, well, the gun casing has enough of a highlight from the dry brush, just glaze a color over it.
Yeah.
For the lenses on the scopes, I just took red transparent and just glazed it over and let the silver base and the highlight that's already on there, let that be the shine. So I don't have to paint any, it's just one coat of red. So I'm breaking some of my own rules just to go quick.
Rattlecan says, are you going to finish these the next time you're on stream?
Probably not. I'll paint them off stream a lot, but I wanted to make sure that we got a chance to look at what I was doing.
Maybe if he needs a palette cleanser.
Yeah. I mean, every now and then we might stop and I might do a vehicle like this because this technique is cool when you see it on the guys, but what happens when you want to paint a vehicle, right? How does it hold up on a vehicle? So I have 2 Vindicators, so we might paint one of the Vindicators on stream. But yeah, a big difference in being able to get to that level on these guys when, one guy to get to this level on my Blood Angels takes multiple streams.
Yeah.
Right? So you're painting at a different pace. Because I think in one stream I get like 10 Blood Angels to have non-metallic trim on their shoulder pads.
That's true.
And here I have 10 guys that are getting damn near completion. But again, it's cutting those corners. It's knowing that I don't care. I thought about it. I would do bronze trim on the shoulders. Nah, screw that. Don't worry about it. It's like if I can make one guy do to completion, just be silver. And I looked online and I looked at the Iron Warriors and there were a lot of them that just had steel everywhere. And I was like, that works. Then I just find spots of color like the eyes and the bolt gun, not doing it in black, doing it in the dark sea bin. So it has just a tinge of green to it. I think was a big help. And then I cheated a little bit. I said I wasn't going to do any of the hazard stripes because I think it's a garbage design. But I do like the idea of like a bisected yellow and black as kind of a flag and unit marking. So I'll probably do some shock of yellow and black on them. I also ordered a bunch of Pop Goes the Monkey makes the shoulder emblems for the Iron Warriors. So I have a bunch of those coming.
Oh,
so
Pop Goes the Monkey.
Yeah. So he makes 3D printed deals. So I have a bunch of the little skull that goes on their shoulder plate. So I'll put that on there. But the nice thing with those is I can just kind of paint them on the sprue and then glue them on the shoulder probably.
Cool. Awesome. Jason, it's about time.
Look at that. Perfect timing. Now
Moon Man, I'm glad you like the dry brushes. I'm sorry, the Dauntless brushes.
Awesome.
They're my daily driver.
So you're saying Blood Angels suck? I didn't say that. I love my Blood Angels for a totally different reason. The Blood Angels will look way more impressive at the end of the day as an army.
Yeah.
Than anything I do with the Iron Warriors being quick like this, but it doesn't mean the Iron Warriors will be bad. They will still be something that will be really cool to pick up and put on the table and play with, because they will look very good. It just shows you that you can get good by cutting almost all the steps out. But it works really well for Iron Warriors because, again, they're an army that is just, pretty much for all Space Marines. if you can get away with not having a lot of bits and pieces be different colors, right? If there's any Space Marines where you could have the trim on the shoulder be the same color as the armor, then this works. When you start having to then cut the trim in and do all the eagles on the chest and all the doohickeys and skulls, then it just adds time. So again, I think Iron Warriors were perfect for this because I can literally leave everything steel. And then I could just change the color of bits as I need to. And if I decided later on that, say I wanted to make the backpack, armored part of the backpack black, like the shoulder plates or something, I could go back and still add that in over time. But for now, I just think that simple is best. Because I have, I don't know, how many dudes are there over there? 100?
Many.
There's like 100 Iron Warriors, plus a lot of vehicles, because they're not all expensive assault squads. So 3,000 points of Iron Warriors looks a lot different than a full jump pack army of Blood Angels.
That's true.
The Blood Angels only have whatever it is, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 55, 6, 70 dudes total. The Iron Warriors have 70 dudes, and then all the vehicles. So
awesome.
It's not an army I'm going to spend the same amount of time on, because it just would kill me. The vehicles alone would take way too much if I don't do something really simple.
Perfect.
All right.
Jason, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. I hope I fit a lot in, because I know I'm only here today, so I thought that this would be a great way to have a lot of info piled into a single stream. I will be gone. You guys will be enjoying your time with Chris and Gabe for the rest of the week, and then I'll be back next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So have a wonderful rest of your week. I love that you choose to spend your time with us. For those of you that may be new around here, hit the follow button if you're on Twitch, or the subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. Remember, we stream on both platforms simultaneously, Monday through Friday, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time, right here in Phoenix, Arizona. So enjoy. Enjoy my time. I'm off. It's a business trip, but we will have fun. It's literally 2 days of meetings and 2 days of travel to have 2 days of meetings. So that's the only thing that'll burn us down.
I will not burn anything.
So I hope they don't burn anything down while you're gone. They won't. So enjoy it. But we'd love to see you back here. Make sure to click the links that Chris put up in chat. Join us on the Discord, where we have over 6,000 amazing artists just like yourselves, where you can come hang out, get inspired, share your works, get ideas, ask questions, not only about our product, but just about painting in general. It's a great community to hang out in. And then please check out monumenthobbies.com, where you can try our Pro Acrylic paints and our Pro Series brushes and all the amazing products we make. Next time you need to start a project or having a problem with the products you already got, give us a shot. I think you'll be blown away by the quality that we offer from our little company here in the USA. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. Stick around. Chris is going to find us somebody to raid. So pass on some love and follows in the chat you wind up in, and we will see you back here again tomorrow. Adios, gang.